Who are we? We are the ones who step up for each other. I've got your back. You've got mine. Kindness, humility, empathy. It's not just talk. It's who we are. It's who we always have been. And no one can take that from us. The movement to bring it back, it started here. And here. And here. In school gymnasiums, community centers, the living room down the block. You'll be where? Okay, we'll be there. Who are we? We're the movement that will beat Donald Trump. Welcome. We're going to have to sweat for it. We're going to have to sacrifice and fight. We're going to have to lead. Everyone is going to have to lead with kindness, humility, empathy, and not just talk, but action. Action today, action tomorrow. Action until we win. And we will win if we do this together. It's who we are. It's who we always have been. Now let's show them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly live stream, Biden Brunch. I'm Courtney. I'm the National Digital Organizing Director here on the campaign, and I'm pumped to be joined by Isha.
I'm Isha. I'm on the digital team. I do a bunch of things within digital, but Courtney, tomorrow is a really big day.
Tomorrow's a huge day. I feel like every week we have these big milestones that we have to talk about. It's awesome. Isha, what day is it?
Tomorrow marks 6 months until we vote for Joe Biden.
It's crazy. It's gone by so quickly.
I know, but we still have a very long way to go and a lot of organizing to do.
So much organizing to do. I'm excited to tell everyone about all the good work that we did last week. Last week was a really big week, and what we have up our sleeves for the upcoming week.
Yeah.
Awesome. So like Isha said, tomorrow marks 6 months until the election, which is craziness. And right now our campaign doesn't look like a typical campaign. Usually you'd have organizers knocking on your door, or you'd be meeting up with them at a field office. That's changed a little bit now, but we are finding ways around that, and we are making sure that we are doing our best to organize and get all of our supporters out to do work in their communities to support our campaign, and all of our community heroes and first responders. So it's been a really exciting week. But Isha, I'm going to throw it over to you to talk a little bit about what we've been up to this week.
Guys, I said it last week. It was going to be a BFD, and it absolutely was. You guys crushed it. You guys have been doing so much for us. Starting with last Sunday, we had the Digital Summit, and we were joined by literally hundreds of online activists who wanted to learn how to get involved on our campaign. We discussed how to build virtual communities, our action center, messaging, and so much more. So thank you to everyone who joined us. And for those of you who didn't get the opportunity to, totally fine. We're going to be doing so much more of these in the future. We also were joined by multiple icons this week. On Monday, we had Nancy Pelosi, Pramila Jayapal, and on Tuesday, we had Hillary Clinton endorse us. And it's so exciting to be joined by these women that I personally idolized growing up and really looked up to. And it's really exciting to have them be a part of this movement because, like the vice president has said over and over again, this movement is all about unity. It's all about love and respect and really just restoring the soul of this nation. It's great to see all these leaders coming out in support of that. And on Tuesday, we also won Ohio. So thank you to all the voters in Ohio for practicing safe social distancing and making their voices heard. We also had several events. Senator Harris had a town hall with us about the impact of COVID-19 and on communities of color. Dr. Biden held an LGBTQ social hour town hall. On Tuesday, the VP and Hillary had a town hall on the impact of COVID-19 on women. We had several more climate roundtables. On Thursday, we also had another Instagram Live with Megan Rapinoe and the vice president. So there's a lot going on this past week. But Courtney, we have a lot coming up. What's going on?
Yeah, I think that we need to pause though and talk about Soul Saturday because it was crazy. You guys did so much amazing work last week. We talked you through it a little bit on the live stream last week, but it was really, really exciting to see all of your hard work. If you are on Twitter, go to Twitter right now and look up hashtag Soul Saturday. There was so much good that was being done in communities all across the country. We had organizers and volunteers hosting events to talk about their communities and what good work we can continue to do in the communities to support our first responders and our grocery store workers and our the folks who work at the post office and all these really essential folks. So that was amazing. We had tens of thousands of people taking action and it was awesome. Isha, do you have a favorite story from Soul Saturday?
Honestly, so before this, I was in New Hampshire and I had so many volunteers reaching back out to me, talking to me about all of the different things that they're doing and getting really hyped up. And it was just a really great reminder that even in a time where we're all separate and, feeling a little apart and maybe a little overwhelmed by the multiple things happening, that we're still one nation. We're still a huge community. We're a big family. And we can get through this by supporting each other. And frankly, that was my favorite part of Soul Saturday, was just seeing everybody hyped up and ready to do so much more for their communities.
It was so great. Did you see our Super Bowl who drove, our Super Bowl, Amanda, she drove from Northern Virginia to Philly to drop off stuff at hospitals that were overcrowded right now?
Wow. I did not see that, but I'm going to go back on Twitter and look for that. Thank you, Amanda. And thank you to all the other people like her. That's inspiring. I'm so proud to be on the same team as these people. Right, Courtney?
Totally agree. There were also people who would make their own face masks and put them outside on their, the fence of their house for people to take if they needed one. It was very, very cool to see. So thank you everyone for pitching in. We're really, really excited. We think it was a really big success and keep up the good work. Another thing that we did this week was we added to our action center. So right now, if you go to joebiden.com/call, you can make calls into your community to other Joe Biden supporters and do what our organizers are doing and just check in on folks. Make sure that they're doing okay. See if they're interested, how they can get involved in our campaign. So really, really excited to have that up for a bunch of states. And then today is the Kansas primary. So we should be hearing about results for that election very, very soon. But Isha, we have another special guest this week.
We do? Who is it?
We do. It's Carrie.
Oh my God, Carrie! I love her.
Carrie is an organizer in the West region right now. She worked with Isha in New Hampshire. They are best buds. Carrie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Hello. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We're so excited to introduce you to all of our viewers.
Yeah, I am so excited to be here. Brunch is one of my favorite things, so this feels like a dream. But like you said, my name is Carrie, and I am originally from Arkansas, actually. I started working with the campaign back on July 1st, and I had a lot of reasons for kind of why I wanted to support the vice president. I really gave a lot of thought into who I thought would be the best person, to kind of lead our country and take over for the next 4 years. And I just knew that Joe would be the best person for that job. Obviously, I could go on about all of the reasons because there's just so many. But for me personally, I really felt with all of the work that the vice president did with the Violence Against Women Act. I'm a domestic violence survivor myself. And I just know that we need a president that believes, supports, and defends all domestic violence survivors. And then someone that's going to ensure that women continue to have a voice over the next 4 years, because that's going to really matter. Like all the powerhouse women that endorsed us earlier, this is, we need that.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Carrie. That is amazing. We're so lucky to have you. So you started in New Hampshire working with Isha, and then where did you go after that?
Yeah, so I just want to give a quick plug to my New Hampshire crew first. I was in Londonderry Dairy and Litchfield, so shout out to them. And then I went to Nevada, and then South Carolina, and then Michigan, and then I was in Ohio for a little bit, and then all of this kind of started taking place, and now I'm quarantined in Colorado currently.
It's not a bad place to be quarantined.
Not at all.
So tell us a little bit about your Soul Saturday last week and the events that you were hosting.
Yeah, so one of the first events I did was kind of a mini version of this. I actually did a brunch for Biden. It was with a Nevada crew, and we pretty much had, like orange juice. Everyone, a group of people brought their breakfast with them, and we were eating it. We talked about ideas of kind of how to get involved and how to thank our local, heroes throughout all of this and our essential workers. We wrote some signs. I know that you guys talked about those a little bit last week, so we made some of those. And one of the people that was with us was actually an emergency worker themselves. She was a nurse, and so we got to kind of allow her to share her story, which was really empowering for her, I think. And then for us to just hear. And then the second one I did with a group that's really engaged in California. It was the Santa Clara County Democratic Party, and they kind of hosted a happy hour and a house party sort of, and there ended up being like 120 people that joined that, and it was amazing to see the level of engagement and how excited they are to start getting involved. And we were able to come up with like weekly phone banks that we're going to be doing, a weekly event on every Saturday. It was really good to see how excited all of these groups of people, came together to get involved to ensure that, Biden's going to win in November.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I'm so glad that all of you got to meet Carrie. She's one of our favorite organizers. All right. I am putting you guys in the hot seat. You ready?
Ready as well.
Ready for everything.
All right. First question. Would you rather spend a year traveling space or traveling the world? This is a very controversial question.
Yes, it is. This incites a lot of chaos, and I would love for people to comment below. I think I would love to travel space because I can travel the world at any point. But if I had the opportunity to go to space, I would definitely do it.
What about you, Carrie?
I actually think I would do the opposite. I think I would explore the world first before we go to space, right? Like maybe I'd save space for second, but I want to see the rest of the world first.
The world's not good.
I'm with Carrie. I'm with Carrie. See, I think that maybe I would change my mind if space was developed or something like that, right? But if you're just sitting in a rocket, that's like you're quarantined but in space. I don't know. I'm with Carrie on this one.
For those of you who are in the comments saying that you want to travel the world, let me know if your quarantine is surrounded by stars on a really cool rocket ship and if you can float in it. And then we can have this conversation. But agree to disagree for now, ladies.
All right. Okay. Next question. If the Bidens got a third dog, what would you suggest they name it? So right now there's Champ and Major. What would the third dog's name be?
I mean, I guess we can go with that same theme, but I know at one event, Dr. Biden once mentioned that she would like to have another dog that was maybe a little smaller and had like a cuter name. So maybe like something cute like Max, or I know the VP always says things like, "Hey, Jack." So maybe like Jack would be a funny name.
Carrie, what do you think?
I think I would stay on brand, and I would maybe go with like Sergeant and call him Sarge for short or something.
I love that. That is awesome. Both would be great names. Maybe they need two dogs.
You can never have too many.
It's true. All right. Another controversial question. Do you get breakfast or lunch food at brunch?
Breakfast food, all the way. I can make myself a sandwich.
I have lunch.
You guys are not on the same page today.
Oh, sorry.
I always get lunch. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, last question. If you could spend a day with Dr. Biden, what would you do?
Okay. Admittedly, I have planned this out in the past. So I have a whole thing. We would start the day at brunch. and then probably go shopping because she has an impeccable taste. Maybe end the day at like another outdoor patio kind of a restaurant, and maybe drink some wine and talk about some books. I love reading, and she's an English professor, so I feel like I would love to talk to her about that and get her. I'm sure she has many thoughts on it, but that would be the day.
Sounds like a perfect day. What about you, Carrie?
Yeah, so I've also given this a lot of thought before, and mine's kind of similar, so we're on the same page on this one. But I would start with brunch, and then I would actually want to attend one of her classes. I just want to see her in like her element, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would honestly really like to go to like a used bookstore. Each of us buy a book and then exchange it with the other person. And then I want to end it with a glass of wine watching Mrs. America, because she talked about it the other day, and I want to get her thoughts.
I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, I would be down to crash both of those days with Dr. B. So I hope I'm invited. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Carrie. That's all we have for you. I know that you have a ton of work to do. So thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
See you later. All right, Isha. Just me and you again.
Oh my God. What a week. What a day. I wish we could do this again next week.
I think that we probably can. We'll see you guys here next week. But in the meantime, everyone should head to joebiden.com/organize now and find ways that they can that you all can take action in your community. There are a bunch of different things that you can do. You can make calls. You can find an event. You can host your own event. You can plug into your local Facebook group. There's so many ways for you to get involved in our campaign, and we're so excited for you to meet us and organizers like Carrie and get involved. So it was so nice talking to you guys this week. We'll see you next week.
See y'all.